I appreciate that endorsement and your support, and I appreciate those of you who are standing up in this room. It's a big group, and a big group downstairs, as you saw, and hopefully they can still hear me down there. I told them a couple of things as I came in. One, I said, if I'm fortunate enough to become the nominee, and I hope I will be with your support, that I'm going to be back in Iowa and making sure that Iowa elects a Republican president this time around. We're going to get that job done. From time to time, how I enjoy this. This is the best part of a campaign. You can't imagine. I never imagined that I would be running for president of the United States. I spent my life in business. I sort of backed into getting involved in politics. I've been governor for 4 years. Only 4 years. I point out, I didn't inhale. I'm still a business guy. and so for Ann and for me, this is an extraordinary experience. We get to meet wonderful people across the country and come away more convinced of the promise and the future of this great land. Now, I have someone with me tonight who I actually have a couple of people. I'll let Ann introduce the other, but a person who makes this campaign so much more fun and enjoyable. And that's the person I met, 40-some-odd years ago. I was at a party at a friend's house. We're downstairs in their basement, and I was a senior. I looked across the room, and someone who I'd known since elementary school, I looked at her. Boy, was she beautiful. 15-year-old Ann Davies, and she came with someone else. So I went up to the guy she came with, and I said, I live closer to Ann's house than you do. Can I give her a ride home for you? And I said, sure. And Ann and I have been going steady ever since. Please welcome my sweetheart, Ann Romney.
It's wonderful that you're here today. It's a new year, and here we go. I think there's often when we think of a new year, we think of new promises and new hope. And I'm with you on that right now. I think we're all hoping that we can elect a new president. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that all the energy that you have in this room, that we translate it to something moving forward, and that we take this energy and we move across the country and let people know that we're gonna do everything we can to replace Barack Obama. Woo! Yeah. At the last stop, I introduced my son that's here as Matt. His name is Craig. But it reminded me of what it was like when I was an exasperated mother, and I'd say, "Tag that! You know who I mean, you!" My son, Craig. Come on, sweetie. He was the baby. We had 5 boys. They're all married now, and we are the grandparents of 16 children. He has 2 of the cutest little boys in the world. But when he was young, he got into a lot of trouble. And he and his brothers fought all the time. And I really didn't know what to do with myself at times. And Mitt would call, if he was traveling, he'd call home and hear a very exasperated wife at the other end of the phone. And he'd say, "Hang in there, I'll be home soon." But the other great thing he did, which I loved, is that he would remind me that what I was doing was more important than what he was doing. That his job was temporary, and that my job was going to bring forever happiness, and that it was going to be the joy of our life. And he was so right. And the other thing that was great is he really meant it. And the boys knew he really meant it. And they knew that they were the most important things in their lives. Now we have these great grandkids, and I look at them, and they're just so wonderful. What a great joy it is, and how the blessings just keep on coming from us doing the right things at the right time. And I think that you can trust that when Mitt gets behind that desk, the decisions that are going to be made are always tough decisions. And you want to understand the character of the person that's sitting at that desk. And I can promise you that his character is exemplary, that he's always done the right thing in his life, that he's always been there and done in every respect that I have a lens to see him through. It has been with great love and pride that I say that I completely trust this person. So I'd love to hear from him and let you all know what he's going to do to restore the greatness of America.
totally and completely unbiased. So you can take every word as gospel truth. You know, I've been looking at some video clips on YouTube of President Obama, then candidate Obama, going through Iowa, making promises. And I think the gap between his promises and his performance is the largest I've seen, well, since the Kardashian wedding and the promises of that movie. This president, well, first he talked about an engagement policy with Iran. Remember, we were going to find a way to keep Iran from pursuing their nuclear folly. And he was going to sit down with Ahmadinejad. How did that work out? Today, Iran announced that they built a nuclear rod. They've also set off today a test of a surface-to-air medium-range missile. That hasn't worked out so well. And then, of course, there was his criticism of President Bush for having such large deficits, $450 billion. Well, he's come in and tripled that. In fact, by the end of his first term, and his only term, by the way, but by the end of his